Join Rebel and me as we take on the challenge of making over this neglected side yard into a beautiful, stunning flower bed all in one afternoon. I think we can do it. What do you think, Rebel? Do you think it's going to be a lot of fun? Do you think it's going to be pretty when we get finished? I think he's in agreement. Let's go. Yes, neglect is the word that I would use to describe this area of my yard right here. I mean, this looks good compared to what it used to look like. This was the area, you know how everybody has that area in their yards where they just pile everything? Well, this was the area in my yard where I would pile all of my flower pots from the garden centers. After I plant a plant, I just hated to throw those containers away, and I would say, I'm going to use that one day. And I just had stacks and stacks of them over here in this side yard. I had my tools, my shovels, my rakes, wheelbarrow, just everything over here. Ladders, you name it. This was the storage area for that. And one day I thought, well, Patty, that's a pretty spot. But you see that pretty oak leaf hydrangea right there? Well, it is one of the first things to bloom in the spring, and it is beautiful. So I thought that I would just kind of build a flower bed around that oak leaf hydrangea right there. I've been collecting plants throughout the year, waiting for the fall to go ahead and get them in the ground, because they say that fall is the season for planting. And I'm going to kind of lay out what I have and see where I want to put the things. I'm also probably going to dig up some of those problem plants that I told y'all about in another video. The plants that are not performing well in the spots where I have them. And I'm probably going to dig some of them up and maybe move them to this spot right here. This is the east side of my house, so it gets morning sun. And then as the afternoon goes on, the sun goes on over on the west side of the house. So it gets shade earlier than other parts of my yard. So I'm hoping that those plants that are not faring well will do better in this area. Plus, this area is closer to my house, and the water hose is just right around the corner there. So it'll be easy for me to get to these and water them. Now, back in the summer, I think it was probably in July, I put this cardboard down to try to start smothering out the grass, knowing that I was going to eventually put a flower bed right here. And I think it's done its job, and the cardboard, you know, has been just out in the elements, in the rain and the sunshine, and it's kind of beginning to break down a little bit. So I'll just place the plants where I want them, dig the holes, put a little fertilizer in the holes, and then I'll come back and mulch the whole area. So I'm thinking it's going to be pretty by the time I get finished. Y'all come along with me. I have some of the plants placed where I think they're going to end up being in that bed. But right now I'm going to go up to the cottage garden and dig up some of these problem plants that I have, relocate them into my new garden bed. First one up is this sad little lime punch hydrangea. Yes, she's gonna be the first one to get moved. She'll probably be happy in the end to find a new home. These are the Macrophylla hydrangeas that have never performed worth a darn. So I'm moving them. I can probably break this into 3 different little bushes. And maybe they'll do better in the new spot, I'm hoping. This is the Proudberry Coralberry. I'm hoping that she'll be proud at another location. And the last thing that I'm going to relocate today is this Fairy Trail Bride Cascading Hydrangea. The leaves look really pretty now, but in the summertime, this spot is just too hot and too brutal for it. So it's gonna have to move if it's gonna stand a chance.
Off that one. Okay. Right here?
Yep. That'll be good.
Well,
Drat.
things neat.
What in the world does that go to? Does it go to that hydrangea?
That's a root.
What does it go to? Does it go to that tree?
I don't know.
Well, can you just move it up so we don't?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kidding when I said that this ground might have been good. It is just like all the rest. It is. What is it like digging in, Danny?
Concrete.
He said that real quick. It's like digging in concrete. It's so rough that it broke our auger. It shook it to death. I like how you traveling.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Work smarter, not harder. Phase 1 of this flower bed renovation is complete. Thank goodness. We did it all in one afternoon. It took us like 2.5 hours probably to get it all completed. It was kind of rough digging. Danny said that the ground was like digging in concrete. And I know what he's talking about. It's rough. And I appreciate him so much. I couldn't have done this by myself in 2.5 hours. Maybe 2.5 days, perhaps. But yeah, he really came in clutch for me, digging all the holes and carrying all the heavy stuff. Yeah, we put the plants in. Well, dug the holes, put the plants in, put some fertilizer in there too. Then we mulched it all. And I'm gonna get the camera now and show you what plants I put in here. And there it is. This is it. On this end, we have 3 boxwoods so far. I would like to get some more and extend them all the way to here. So I would like to have a actual boxwood hedge all the way to there. There is the oak leaf hydrangea that is getting its fall color on the leaves. And that's kind of what started this whole flower bed process. That's how pretty that oak leaf hydrangea is. And I don't know how old it is. It's been here forever. This is a little homemade bird bath, a little water feature for my feathered friends. It's just a milk, some kind of milk urn thing with, this is a ceramic plant plate, and I just stuck a brick in there with something that we found while we were digging in this area, so the birds will have a place to sit and then bathe themselves. So we have the boxwoods, we have the oak leaf hydrangea, then we have, now these little pots right here, I just moved these over here kind of to fill in some space and to be a little bit of color up against the black mulch for right now. I'll eventually go back in and put some more plants, but I did not want to overcrowd it because I really don't know how big all these things are going to get. But anyway, we have 3 knockout roses. These are the double pink knockout roses. Pink double knockout. The best flowering shrub, easy care, flowers spring to frost. And it says full sun. I mean, this will get a whole lot of sun, this area. It'll get morning sun all the way until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 3-4 feet tall and 3-4 feet wide. So we have 3 of those. We have 2 more boxwoods right here. Now this is a camellia. It's a Shishigashira camellia. And it says, reaches 4 to 5 feet tall and 6 to 8 feet wide, may grow to 10 to 15 feet tall and wide in some conditions. Now, I don't know if it'll grow that like that for me, but it's pretty. And look, it has buds on it. I'm hoping that it will bloom. That'd be awesome. So if it would get, 4 to 5 feet tall, that'd be great. This is one of the hydrangeas, one of the little lime punch hydrangeas that I dug up. Hopefully it'll do well. And that's just an annual grass that's in a container, and I just put it right there for right now. That's a look back across the bed. I think it looks nice. And there's Rebel. He was a lot of help during this makeover. This is the little shade bed that I made way back in June, I think. And it has really done well. This grass has grown and gotten big. This tractor seat plant is thriving. The Mahonia is doing well. Look, it's got some little flowers on it. So if these things are doing well over here, perhaps this will do well right here. This is the Fairy Trail Bride Cascading Hydrangea. So I'm hoping that it will do well in this shady area. It'll get some morning sun, but it'll get afternoon shade. I also put the Macrophylla hydrangeas that I had in a different spot. I put those over here. This is the north side of my house. It'll get morning east sun and afternoon shade. So maybe this will be the spot for that. I sure hope so. This is where I ended up putting the Proudberry coral berry outside my kitchen window. It's pretty shady over here. I think it gets a pocket of sun in the morning. This is probably the coolest spot in my yard. So maybe it'll decide to live right there. We'll see. But yeah, one last look at the little flower bed. The new flower bed. Now we'll still have to edge it. Have to come through and make an edge to kind of tidy it up even more. And I probably will end up putting some more plants in here. Like I have some more knockout roses that I could add, but like I said, I didn't want to just pack it out and just fill it up too much, because I know that oak leaf hydrangea kind of fills in that area when it's in season, so I don't want to crowd anything. But we'll see. We'll see what, and I really hope that hydrangea right there will make it. I'm pulling for it. Well, I'm glad that project is complete, and I really appreciate y'all watching, hanging out until the end of the video. And I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. That would mean the world to me. And for your viewing pleasure, I'll put a video right here that you can tap and watch until my next video comes out. Bye-bye.